Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever noticed how two people can earn the same amount of money, but one is calm, secure, sleeping peacefully at night, while the other is constantly stressed, anxious, and afraid of losing everything? It's not because one is smarter. It's not because one knows more about investing. It's because they think about money differently. Most people believe money problems are money problems. But what if I tell you they're actually psychology problems? This book has completely changed the way I look at money. Not how much I want to earn, but why I want to earn it. How fear controls my decisions, and why chasing more never feels like enough. So if you've ever felt anxious about money, confused by financial advice, or stuck comparing your life to others, this video might change the way you see money forever. Most of us grow up believing that money is something you either understand or you don't, like math, like formulas. We think if someone is good with money, they must be smart, disciplined, maybe even lucky. And if someone struggles with money, we quietly assume they're careless or irresponsible. This book slowly, gently breaks that illusion. It makes you realize that money has very little to do with intelligence, and almost everything to do with behavior. Think about it for a second. You can know all the right financial advice. You can know how investing works, how saving works, how compounding works, and still make terrible money decisions. Why? Because when real life hits, logic leaves the room. Fear walks in, ego walks in, comparison walks in, and suddenly the decision you make has nothing to do with spreadsheets and everything to do with how you feel at that moment. What this book does beautifully is it accepts one uncomfortable truth. Humans are not robots. We don't live in textbooks. We live in real life. We lose jobs. We see markets crash. We watch other people succeed faster than us. We feel pressure to prove ourselves, and all of this silently shapes how we treat money. One of the most eye-opening ideas in the book is that everyone plays a different money game. We all think we're playing the same game, but we're not. Someone who grew up seeing their parents struggle with money will value safety more than growth. Someone who grew up surrounded by wealth might take risks without even thinking about the downside. When both of these people give advice, they genuinely believe they're right, and they are, for their life. This is why so much financial advice feels confusing or even contradictory. One person says take risks, another says play safe. One says invest everything, another says keep cash. The book doesn't tell you which one is correct. It tells you to understand your own story first. Because the best financial plan is not the one with the highest return. It's the one you can actually stick to when things get uncomfortable. And let's be honest, discomfort is guaranteed. Markets go up and down, businesses fail, plans fall apart. What separates people who survive financially from those who don't is not brilliance. It's endurance. It's the ability to stay in the game long enough for time to do its work. The book talks a lot about luck and risk, and this part really humbles you. We love clean success stories. We love believing that successful people followed a perfect path. But reality is messy. For every successful person we admire, there are many others who did the same things and didn't make it. We just don't hear their stories. This doesn't mean success is random. It means success is not fully under your control. And once you accept that, you stop being arrogant when you win and stop being too hard on yourself when you lose. You start focusing on what you can control. Your savings rate, your patience, your behavior under pressure. Another idea that quietly changes the way you see money is the concept of enough. This is probably one of the most dangerous words in a world built on more. More income, more growth, more lifestyle. We're constantly shown someone doing better than us, earning more than us, living bigger than us. And without realizing it, we tie our happiness to catching up. The problem is there is no finish line. No matter how far you go, someone else is ahead. And if you don't decide what enough means for you, you'll keep pushing, risking, stressing, not because you need more, but because you're scared of falling behind. The book doesn't say money is bad or ambition is wrong. It simply says that chasing money without understanding why you want it is dangerous, because money is supposed to give you freedom. But when you chase it endlessly, it starts owning you instead. Freedom, according to this book, is the highest dividend money can pay. Freedom to choose how you spend your time. Freedom to walk away from toxic situations. freedom to sleep peacefully at night. And what's interesting is that this freedom doesn't require extreme wealth. It requires margin. It requires control over your life. One of the most misunderstood ideas in personal finance is compounding. People think compounding is about finding the best investment, but the book explains that compounding works best when combined with time and patience. You don't need to be extraordinary. You just need to be consistent and avoid catastrophic mistakes. Most financial disasters don't come from slow, boring decisions. They come from extreme decisions made under emotion. Panic selling, overconfidence, chasing trends, trying to get rich fast. The book almost feels like it's telling you, your biggest enemy in money is not the market. It's you. And that realization can feel uncomfortable, even painful, because it means you can't blame everything on bad luck or bad advice. But at the same time, it's empowering, because once you understand your weaknesses, you can build systems to protect yourself from them. Another beautiful idea is that real wealth is invisible. We're trained to admire what we can see: expensive clothes, luxury cars, big houses. But the book reminds us that wealth is what's left over after you spend money. It's the ability to absorb shocks. It's the peace of knowing you're okay even if something goes wrong. This changes how you view success. Suddenly, the loudest person in the room doesn't look the richest anymore, and the quiet person living simply might actually be the most secure. It pushes you to stop performing and start building. What makes this book different from traditional finance books is that it doesn't try to impress you. It doesn't overwhelm you with data. It speaks in stories, simple examples, human experiences, and that's why the lessons stick. Because stories are how we remember things. Stories are how we learn. By the time you reach the end of the book, something subtle happens. You don't feel motivated to make risky moves. You feel motivated to make calm moves. You feel less pressure to prove something to the world and more desire to protect your future self. You start thinking less about getting rich quickly and more about staying financially alive for a long time. You start valuing peace over excitement, stability over status, and that shift in mindset is powerful. This book doesn't promise you millions. It promises clarity. And in a world full of noise, that clarity is rare. It teaches you that money is a tool to support your values, not a scorecard to measure your worth. That's why I don't think The Psychology of Money is just a book about finance. It's a book about how humans think, fear, hope, and survive. And if you understand that, money stops feeling like an enemy. It starts feeling like something you can finally make peace with.